Hey y'all, welcome back to Texas Private School Podcast. My name is Ryan Schroeder, and it's just me. I am doing what looks to be the Texas Private School Basketball Playoffs for TAPPS. So, if you didn't see already, SBC is finished. SBC has already declared their champion, and their champion was, I believe, Episcopal. So, I had Green Hill winning that, which, you know, I guess I was wrong in that aspect. I'll take my loss here, but I still do have three more predicted winners, and those three predicted winners are still in the top two of each of their respective categories of 6A, 5A, and 4A TAPS. My predicted winners right now, for 6A, I have John Paul II. For 5A, I have Woodlands Christian, and for 4A, I have Grace Prep. So today we're going to be going through and kind of just drafting what I think the brackets will be. Play starts tomorrow. Today is February 18th. First play of the bracket starts tomorrow, the 19th. So we're going to go through some of these today, and we're going to get some of these guys down. We're going to start off with 6A, and I'm going to put this on the screen. So right now I have them written out here on here, but I am going to put them on the screen while, so you can see kind of what my process was or like what I'm writing on. But feel free if you want to print them out yourself. They're on the TAPPS website. Link will be in the description for each of y'all if y'all want to make your own bracket or something like that. But March Madness in February, I think that's what we're going to get started with. Here we go, y'all. So in that by district bracket, obviously we start off, and I'll start off with the by district in the area, and then we'll go through, right? So by district, Midland Christian has a bye, and then we have the independent Cathedral High School, which is on there versus Bishop Lynch. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Bishop Lynch gets that done. Logan Epps and those guys, I think, will have that covered for sure. So I'm gonna put Bishop Lynch on there for mine. And then we're going to go down. By the way, all the times say 12 p.m. Do not go off that. I don't think they're all noon games tomorrow. They could be, but the next ones say 12 a.m., and I don't think anyone's playing at midnight, so I think those are messed up. I would clarify with the schools before you think that they're playing at noon. Liberty Christian has a bye. Prestonwood has a bye. Nolan Catholic has a bye. TCA Addison has a bye. We got a couple bye. We got a 2-round bye for JP2, putting them already in the regionals. I think that's correct, but if it's wrong, let me know. Antonian is got a bye. St. Pius has a bye. I think we're running down to where there was only actually one bye district game for 6A. I think that's what we're running down to. I'm trying to look through this and make sure if I missed any. No, I don't think I missed any. So let's get started with the next round. We'll start back up at the top. Midland Christian versus Bishop Lynch. Midland Christian is a great team this year. They have been great last year. They had a guy named Joseph Vincent last year. Great. Now doing great things at Liberty. They got a great program going on over there. However, that's not to discredit Bishop Lynch, because I think Bishop Lynch is very, very talented. I think they've done a lot with what they can, and they've played a really hard schedule in general. When they were playing non-district, they played in the hard tournaments in Dallas, playing the teams like Dallas Kimball, playing the teams that are in the Dallas area, trying to compete with the public schools. So I really like that out of them. And honestly, it might come as a shock here, and especially with a team like Midland Christian, but I want to put Bishop Lynch over Midland Christian, and that might seem a little out of nowhere, but I'm gonna put Bishop Lynch, and that's my first big drop off for sure. But I have Bishop Lynch over Midland Christian. Yeah, that's my first round. That's the first tidbit or first upset we have, but. And the next one that we have is Liberty Christian versus Prestonwood. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's pretty easy for me. Prestonwood is definitely the second best team. By far, I think they're the second best team in 6A. There's no, JP2, or third best team. So you have Antonian and JP2 at the top, kind of battling out with each other. And then Prestonwood's the next team, next tier under, I'd say. So if you had an S tier, and then you had an A tier, I would say S tier is Antonian and JP2, and then your A tier is, of course, Prestonwood, in my opinion. So I think Prestonwood gets it done. Vinny Segonia is a great player. It's going to be hard for Prestonwood to play next year without him. Nolan Catholic versus TCA Addison. I would almost argue again that TCA Addison, TCA Addison, in my opinion, is still better than the second place in that Nolan Catholic. I am a big fan of Nolan Catholic. I think they got a lot of studs this year that have been playing with them, but I don't think that I think that second district in 6A is just a lot more talented. So I have another upset in that aspect, and I'm gonna go TCA here. TCA jumps up to play JP2 in that game, so we'll have that there. JP2 has that bye, so got that. Antonian and St. Pius, not going to be close. I'm going to tell you that right now. I think Antonian has got him down. It's just Antonian's a stud team. They've been a stud for years. You can look back how many times they've made the state championship, and they've won them half the times, if not more than that. So Antonian's just built like that. San Antonio Christian versus St. Thomas. I've been told that San Antonio Christian is a good team. I don't know enough about them to talk on them. However, I have been told that they are a good team. So I'm going to go San Antonio Christian here, just because I don't know enough about them. However, I believe that, they are talented. And I've also been told that District 4 inside of 6A is just not at the same level as the District 3. With that being said, Central Catholic versus the Village School, I think Central Catholic will get that done pretty easily. And, Concordia Lutheran is the other team that has the full bye out. Sorry, I forgot to see that earlier. But, yes, now Concordia will have a double bye as well. So then Bishop Lynch plays Prestonwood. We've seen that battle go on already. I think it's pretty I think you could definitely say that, you've already seen Bishop Lynch and Prestonwood play. Prestonwood can beat them. I think we get Prestonwood here. And then I think it's pretty easy to say that JP2 ain't going anywhere, and they're going to be able to play Prestonwood in that semifinal matchup. And then I got Antonian and Concordia. It's really not that crazy coming out. The only thing I would probably say would be different is the fact that, I have Bishop Lynch over Midland Christian, but that's the only difference. And then, guys, if you didn't expect it again. I think you're going to have another JP2 versus Antonian year. Now, I was wrong last year. Bishop Lynch beat JP2 in the semifinals. And Prestonwood could upset them, but I just think Liam McNeely and Jones is just those guys are just too good, in my opinion, to lose to Prestonwood this year. Prestonwood isn't as big as JP2 is, and I think that's just that. Antonian's too good of a team, and like I said back in November, I have JP2 winning the championship, and you know what? March 5th, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on March 5th. But right now, I have JP2. And I'll put this on the screen right now. You can see what I got. And make sure to make your own decisions for that aspect, too. Make sure to make your own brackets. Because, you're going to want to compare and contrast. Maybe you'll be better than mine. And maybe you'll have a different outcome. Some of mine are pretty straight. Best team wins kind of thing. Chalk is what they call it. But some of them aren't. So, you got that for you. Moving on to 5A. 5A, we got a little bit more going on here. We'll go by district. Let me make sure there's any by district games. I don't think we have any on the left side. However, if you go down the right side of the bracket, we have Brentwood Christian and Lutheran South. I would like to think that I know a little bit about this Brentwood team, and I think that they're a solid team. And just going off of what I think I know, which I'm drawing at what I can grab here, but I would think that obviously I think that District 5 is very, very tough. You have Woodlands at the top of that district. And then you got Second Baptist at the second seed in there. So obviously I think Lutheran had to play some hard teams. But that isn't to discredit, that's not to discredit, that Brentwood team either, because they had to play TMI as the number one seed there. I don't know. You know what? That game might as well be the overtime, triple overtime. I honestly think of those teams pretty similar. So I'm gonna have Lutheran here, just to get a little switch up going on. I think it'd be cool to not see a District 3 team play another District 3 team in the area round. So I'm going to go Lutheran South here. Then we got St. Augustine versus Geneva. Geneva Bernie. I think I want to say Augustine is a pretty good safe bet here. I don't think Geneva kind of gets any kind of thing in here. I think it's pretty safe to go that Augustine's going to get the win there. Second Baptist over Regents, I think that's pretty easy as well. Now, there's a lot of easy picks this first round, in my opinion. I mean, not a lot of upsets you'll be seeing, but I think that, or we got a couple more. We got, I don't know how to say it. Frassity Catholic High School. I always say that wrong. Versus St. Michael's. St. Michael's has got that done. I mean, that's pretty easy. You got a fifth district, fifth team versus a team like St. Michael's. Doesn't really pose much of a chance. Incarnate Word versus Fort Bend. It is so crazy how good this Fort Bend team is for being a fourth seed in their own district. I don't know enough about Incarnate Word to know. I mean, y'all, it's not going to matter. Woodlands is going to win the next round anyways, but how about we do the same thing as we did last time? It would be nice not to see two teams from the same district play each other in the area round. So let's start off in the area left side. We got Fort Worth Christian versus Brighter Horizons, y'all. Fort Worth Christian has that on lockdown, y'all. There's just no way Brighter Horizons wins that game, in my opinion. And this is a matchup right here that I've seen way too often. As a legacy Christian guy, I saw way too often in high school, and it's so funny that they're playing again. It's so funny that we always seem to play DC first round. Legacy versus DC. I think DC, McKinney is their battle when it came to their district. Legacy had to play versus Grapevine and Fort Worth. Y'all. I mean, it's like I obviously have to back up my boys, right? I obviously have to back up my boys. I think that's what I got to do. I have faith in them. I not gonna say I don't like Dallas Christian. I love Dallas Christian. Kind of, maybe. Maybe you could tell that I don't know if I like Dallas Christian after some of the times we played them in high school, but yeah, I'm going with my boys here. I think that's fair. It's the last season with guys that I actually played with in high school, so I have to have Legacy going to play Fort Worth Christian. Grapevine Faith versus Brook Hill. Although I've heard so many good things about Brook Hill, especially from Wes, who saw Brook Hill play. I still personally have Grapevine Faith in that, and I think Grapevine Faith has been very underrated this year. They just got hurt throughout the year, which is what allowed Fort Worth Christian to kind of make that jump, in my opinion. And then McKinney Christian over Southwest. I mean, that's pretty obvious. McKinney Christian is one of the best teams, if not the best team, that's going to be playing. TMI over Lutheran South. I'm too. I actually saw TMI play. I saw them play in the Fort Worth tournament. I want to say. I think I saw them play in the Fort Worth ISD tournament. And TMI played very well. They played very well, and I got to see them get a win. I got to see Fort Worth Christian get a win in that as well. So, two teams that I've seen play this year, and I definitely think they are. They live up. Second Baptist over St. Augustine, but that's St. Augustine's Second Baptist game. I think it's going to be close. I have Second Baptist there, though, just from the fact that I believe that Second Baptist, not to disrespect that fourth district, but that fourth district is just not the same level as any of the northern ones, and it's kind of just below the southern districts as well. St. Michael's versus St. Joseph. I think this is where you kind of see that fourth district just not there. And I think you see St. Michael's, a team that finished second in their respective district, is where they're going to jump a team that finished first in their district. And I think St. Michael's gets the win here. People can argue all they want about that. I just don't believe that. And I think the area games are actually played at the home schools. But I'm still telling you that even if that's played at the home school of St. Joseph, I still think St. Michael's gets the win there. So, yeah, and then you got Woodlands and Incarnate Word, and I think we all know Woodlands is going to win that game. So, here we go, regional. We got Fort Worth Christian versus LCA. if I didn't see it already happen a couple times this year, I would pick LCA. But I have seen Fort Worth Christian beat Legacy. Alex Basinikis, or however you say his name, I always forget. Basinikis, where I always forget. But I think him and some of the other guys on that team just kind of get it done in this game. He's been there way too many times. He's seen LCA play too many times. Fort Worth has just played LCA too many times, and they know kind of how they work a little bit. But LCA, heck of a season. They're going to make it to the Elite Eight for what seems to be the the fourth time or fifth time in 6 years. I mean, like, it's just like we always make the Elite Eight almost like every year. So, like, say what you will about Legacy, but at least they're putting in year after year of solid talent from them. So, Grapevine Faith versus MCA. Now, this is crazy, but I'm telling y'all right now, if this was Grapevine Faith a couple years ago, this was MCA a couple years ago, people would be crazy for me saying MCA is going to get this win. But MCA is going to beat Grapevine Faith. You got a guy like Bobby McWard, and you got a guy like Josh Thrower playing for MCA. I think it's just too much for Grapevine, and I think that's where you see the win for McKinney Christian here. And then you get over to TMI and Second Baptist. TMI is good. Very, very good team. No arguing with that. They are the best team just from that area of San Antonio, maybe like South Austin, that whole area. Like anywhere beyond that area, they're just the best. So I think it's pretty easy to say them. And then Woodlands runs Houston. And I think it's very, very clear that Woodlands will make it out of St. Michael's. And so now you got a Final Four of Fort Worth Christian, McKinney Christian, TMI, and Woodlands. And y'all, this is the hardest decision I had to make right here. It was whether it was going to be Fort Worth. Actually, the championship's the hardest decision. But this decision is also very hard, too, because I've had too many people tell me that Fort Worth Christian has been amazing this year. They had a really hard non-conference, but they were going to get it done in district. They did get it done in district. They won the regular season district title. It's not enough. It's not enough for me, man. Not enough. I got MCA. I got McKinney Christian. I saw McKinney Christian play a good amount of times. And then I saw Fort Worth Christian play. So I've actually seen all four of these teams that are in the Final Four. I've seen them all play this season. So there's no bias here. I've seen all of them play. And I could still tell you that MCA is going to win. And I'm going to tell you that Woodlands is going to beat TMI. And now you have an MCA versus Woodlands final. It is crazy to me to think that we're in a situation now where, Midland Christian McKinney Christian has just become so good to the point now that they're championship bound, right? They're in the championship, right? Last year, Woodlands defeated Fort Worth Christian to win the championship. I don't know. I picked Woodlands to win at the beginning of the year. Clearly, I didn't know how good that McKinney Christian team was. I can't go back on my word. If I could, I don't know if I would. I think I just got to stick with what I said back in November and ride the Woodlands Christian chain out. McKinney Christian is a great team this year, and if they win, I will not be surprised. But at the same time, Woodlands has been good. They stay good, and I don't think Austin Benini's going anywhere. So I got Woodlands Christian, and you're welcome to look at my sheet for this as well. It would be on the screen, hopefully the entire time while it's up there. I will admit, 5A is where I kind of have the most of my knowledge, so if you see me kind of like lacking on this 4A, it's because I already kind of have who I think is going to win, and the rest of the bracket really doesn't mean a lot to me as much. But I'll try to do my best as I go through this. But we'll start out going through the by district, which I believe maybe doesn't have. Oh, we got one over here. Okay, we got one. Yeah, we got one over here. Holy Cross of San Antonio versus First Baptist Christian Academy. FBCA versus Holy Cross. I'm just gonna have to go with First Baptist. Man, I'm telling y'all, I think I know a good amount about 4A, but some teams, especially if they're from the South, it's kind of hard for me a little bit. But Lutheran High School versus Faith West Academy. I think Lutheran is actually a solid team. I actually know Lutheran pretty well. But that's what I got for that. Okay, Trinity Christian School versus the Covenant School. I think it's pretty obvious to see that if it's Trinity Christian, a team that, has proven themselves, this year, Trinity Christian, and this is Trinity Christian Lubbock, by the way. Let's make that very, very clear. Trinity Christian Lubbock has proven themselves to be a solid school. They have been winners this year. And I think that's pretty easy to put them there. I don't put TCS Lubbock on here because it does not say Lubbock on there. And then you have Lubbock Christian versus Pantego. And I actually think that, although Pantego, is a pretty good team, I don't think they're on the same level maybe as a team like Lubbock Christian. And I'm gonna go Lubbock Christian here, and call me what you will, but I just think Pantego is not at that second district. It's just not really that crazy. Mostly because Grace Prep just dominates all of them, but we'll get to that in a second. Colleyville Covenant versus All Saints Episcopal. Y'all, I got Colleyville Covenant. Colleyville Covenant has actually had some players in the past few years that I thought has been pretty good. When I played Colleyville back in high school, I thought they were good, and they always seem to make a run in the playoffs, so that's where I had them. Grace Prep moves into that regional spot as well, just because they have all the buys. And then we get a JP2 Catholic High School versus FBCA. I think you got JP2 Catholic here. It's pretty obvious. Could they beat JP2 of 6A? Don't think so. Let's keep on going. Northland Christian High School versus St. Thomas Episcopal. St. Thomas, I actually recognize that name, so I think I'm going to go St. Thomas here. Cypress Christian versus Veritas. Cypress Christian. Some of these are just, off the top of your head, you just kind of know. Westbury, if you don't know Westbury Christian, you don't know private school basketball. That's all I got to say. Westbury is that team. They've been that team for years. It almost feels like they just run Houston in that aspect, and they've moved down over the years because they used to be 5A, and now they've moved down to 4A. It almost seems like their school is just built for basketball, but, sometimes that can crack a nerve. TCS Lubbock here versus Lubbock Christian. If they hadn't already beaten them a couple times this year, I would give Lubbock Christian a chance. But TCS Lubbock has already beaten Lubbock Christian, and I can tell you that for sure. That it's going to be TCS Lubbock in there. Grace Prep versus Colleyville Covenant. Man, it is Grace Prep. Y'all know the deal. JP2 Catholic over St. Thomas. I think that's pretty obvious for me to say as well. And then I have Westbury beating Cypress, which may have some a little confused, but at the same time, Westbury has just been that team for years, and it kind of just puts me in that position where I don't really want to go against them. TCS Lubbock, although they were the winners, you can't argue with Grace Prep. Grace Prep is going to do what Grace Prep does, and then you have Grace Prep versus Westbury in the championship. Y'all, I could have predicted Grace Prep versus Westbury literally from the day that it started, and I think that it's going to be an all right championship matchup, but y'all don't realize who's on this Grace Prep team. These guys are insane, absolute athletes. Johnny Jameson is just another outstanding player in TAPPS, and I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen there. So my champions, although I had some controversy along the way, although I did put JP2 over Antonian, I did put Woodlands over McKinney Christian, which is probably the one I'm most worried about, and I did put Grace Prep over Westbury. Those were my predictions at the beginning of the year, and I think they'll still come to fruition. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens. Playoffs start tomorrow, February 19th. Y'all, go check it out. I will not be home. I'm staying here in Oklahoma because I got school. However, I want to try to make it to at least to kind of like watch some of the online games. If you have any links, any live streams, send them my way. It's at Ryan Schroeder 25. It'll be on the screen right now. And you can go watch any of those. Or you can send me any of those links, and I'll watch them for y'all's games. Thank y'all so much. I don't know how the ending goes with Wes, how he usually does it, but we'll just say this has been the Texas Private School Podcast. My name is Ryan Schroeder, and we'll see y'all next time.